Welcome to CDDC Apparel Presents Dressed Down with me, Greg Chalmers, and this sniffly young man here, Christopher Shields. How are you today, young squire?
I'm all right, mate. I'm I'm recovering from a cold that would kill a lesser man. I've basically just spent the last kind of 5 or 6 days mouth breathing. So just have I either look like I'm kind of suffering from severe learning disabilities, or I'm just a sex pest. I sound like a sex pest. You know what I mean? So it's been
Is that the excuse you're going to use for not combing
that's
your
my
hair?
excuse, and I am sticking with it.
Because,
Yeah, mate, you get off my back. You know my real dad. Do what I want. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I've been living, mate.
you get a haircut. You get a haircut like a trainee priest.
Oh, mate, honestly,
Look at it, nick at that.
it's honestly, mate.
I love it how you've tried to kind of do something with it.
mate. You can't though, mate. Like genuinely, I spend it's the worst, man. It is the
You
worst.
just stuck a wee hat on, my man.
I know, mate, but I'm a father of two. I can't get away with hats anymore. It just doesn't work with me anymore.
Mate, we actually make hats.
I know we do. I know, but I don't know. Look at the face for a hat.
Got a face for a balaclava.
Aye. I don't know. It doesn't feel. I don't know. I don't know why I put my hands on my head there. I don't know.
Touching your forehead.
A little bit.
I've got a. It doesn't make any sense.
It's been a strange day, mate. It's been a strange day.
Right, okay.
What have you been up to anyway? Tell me some more about the musings of Greg Chalmers.
Well, today, mate, myself and DJ Neil Bartlett and I walked like 10 miles of the West Highland Way.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good. Right before this bastard weather kicked in, man. Swear to God. It just, do you know what it sounds like? Outside just now, it sounds like a 70s game show when they like show the prizes. You know, when they go, ooh. That's what it sounds like. And we've got a fridge freezer. Ooh.
A Rover Metro.
Ooh. That's what it sounds just every now and again. Ooh.
Is he expecting Les Dennis to be outside your house?
No, I know. I'm just expecting Dale Winton just out there going, ooh. Anyway, mate. Yeah, so that was good, mate. My weekend was fairly mundane, apart from the obvious. Now, you and I haven't discussed this.
No, we haven't.
I decided to give you some space over the weekend.
It's a wise idea.
I thought to myself, and for anyone who is listening to this and doesn't know what we're talking about, you must have been living underneath some form of foliage, is that Glasgow Rangers have been crowned champions of the SPFL, much to my delight and to Christopher Shields' dismay, as although we are best friends and have been for many years, the two of us are very much on separate sides of the Glaswegian divide. So, Chris, what we're going to have a nice conversation here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be biased, and you better not be biased, right? Because see, especially mate, the past 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I have conceded that Rangers haven't been good enough, right?
Yes.
So, with that in mind, I'd like to have a nice conversation here.
Okay.
I don't want any chat about it's no 55 because I did some reading on it today and it is, right? I did something. A judge ruled, mate.
What was that? Follow.com, man.
It was on Blue Brigade Weekly. No, it was a judge ruled, mate. And I've actually got the quote here.
Uh-huh.
Right, because I thought this bastard's going to say something about Sevco or something.
Aye.
So
What
judge
school
rule-
did he go to?
See, there's nothing you can say without going, aye, I bet he's a Mason. The Rangers would keep their 54 titles because no sporting advantage had been gained by the undisclosed payments.
Well, that is a massive pile of shite, but alright.
Just listen, this is about the law.
Let's fucking...
55, bro.
No.
Anyway, right, so I think rather than focusing on the distant past, let's just
rabbit hole, aye.
Yeah, let's talk just now about where Rangers went right and where Celtic went wrong.
Okay.
Right. So first and foremost, Chris, would you like to congratulate Rangers on a season well done?
I would like to say that Rangers were a better team over the year. I don't think I'll ever congratulate them. I don't think. No, I don't think I'll ever congratulate
Mate,
Rangers.
look at your eyes. Look
No,
at your
definitely
eyes.
No, you know what it is? I'm not. I wouldn't say I was. Like, you know, I've had the constant. You're raging, mate. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm part like. I am. This season, I'm bitterly disappointed at the lack of fight that Celtic put up this year. And it's kind of been one of those things that if you really looked at it, we've kind of turned a blind eye to the kind of decline in performance and the kind of, I mean, you look at it now, it's been blatantly obvious to see, but the kind of the short-sightedness of the kind of the plan that Celtic had just to chase the 10, you know what I mean? So I think, Rangers are more than deserving of the title this year and have far and away been the best side. So for that, okay, brilliant. But just from a Celtic point of view, it's not been anywhere near good enough.
I think from a Celtic fan's perspective, it's going to grate more because this season should have seen more application, not less.
Agreed.
You know, and I think from a Celtic perspective as well, they have all I think the last season maybe got a wee warning shot off Rangers, like right, okay, well no messing about now. Do you know what I mean? And I think, and then when Rangers fell away after the Christmas break, and that happened for 2 years. Both Januaries it happened. And I think last year Celtic, I don't think Celtic expected Rangers to be as consistent and efficient as they have been this year.
Well, no, but I think that's when you look at this year, you look at how both teams performed in the transfer market over the summer was wildly different. I mean, so Rangers basically bought players in to fix their shortcomings. Do you know what I mean? So like for the previous 2 seasons, you've had centre halves, you've got the turning circle of an Arctic lorry, you know what I mean? And they've been slow. This year is completely different. You've got a bit of pace at the back. You've brought in the right type of player to suit your system.
But that Rangers defence hasn't changed.
Well, no, you've got in Balogun. He's a new addition.
He doesn't really play.
Fucking like
It's
Hollander.
Hollander.
Was Edmondson? He's away. You don't fucking see him. But these are guys that were like, fucking. There has been a bit of a change. I think Connor Goldson is still there. James Tavernier, Borna Barisic, all of it's that whole. That's 3 out of the 4. But there has been that kind of other centre half because your man Katic was he not injured a lot last year?
Injured, yeah.
So he's just your fucking duty cycle. But I know what you mean. Like they have.
I think they've basically Rangers have embraced the fact that Tav and Borna Barisic are up and down those lines, and also see the two of them with the dead balls into the box. 22% of all Rangers goals this season came for a dead ball.
And fucking 19 of them were a James Tavernier penalty.
Mate, they're fast in the box, mate. What can I say?
I was going to make another joke, mate. I'm not going to do it. I'm fucking going to try and rise above it. No, they like you say, they've had a system and they've played very well. They fucking leaned into it.
I just think the most impressive statistic for Rangers this year is that they've only conceded 9 league goals. Mate, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's been very, very good. Consider that's what I mean, though. But they've obviously worked on the defensive work, and it's and it's just showing. It's showing now. Like they don't concede goals, and they're good going forward.
Yeah. And do you know the thing?
And there's more people scoring goals other than
Morelos.
the Moose. You know what I mean? Oh, it's Buff Moose Buffalo. I don't care.
El Buffalo, mate.
But he's actually got a better haircut. Like, I will give him one, but he's got a full haircut this year. So I mean, credit where it's due.
No, talking about haircuts, mate. Do you remember Ryan Kent's haircut at the beginning of the season? Did that
stupid wee thing, man. Oh,
like, listen, right? You can't talk about you can't talk about strikers' haircuts, right? When you have got Lee Griffiths, his hair's a myth, right?
Mate, you talking about a glorious hair transplant? Mate. You're talking about full head of hair. What I would like you to do, mate, is I would like you to go back and Google Lee Griffiths 2008.
Right.
Just do it. Get out your phone. Lee Griffiths 2008. Have a look at his hair then, and have a look at his hair now. I'm telling you, mate, night and day. Like, why?
Do you know I put in Lee Griffiths and the first thing that came up was Lee Griffiths hair 2008?
See? Aye. Like, people forget how bad it was.
That's a shock.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, let's give the guy credit when it's due. That is fucking glorious, mate. His hair now is fucking miles better than that.
That is...
No,
shocker.
And he's in his 20s then, by the way.
Ah, mate, he's just...
But anyway,
shite hair, what a player.
Incredible player, aye. But, mate, you look at... Like, we're talking there about transfer stuff. The way that Celtic performed in the transfer market was just... It's been... I think our transfer policy has been a precarious one for many years, and it's been it's been hailed as this fantastic thing because we've kind of uncovered guys like Van Dijk, Wanyama, I mean, and like these players have gone on and done fantastic things. Yeah. You see, for every fucking Virgil van Dijk, you end up getting in a fucking Amino Balde or fucking, I mean, just these absolute fucking cart horses. Lasad Nui. You know what I mean?
Ball and golly.
Aye, fucking, mate. Well, the thing is, he was actually a fucking fairly decent player when he's fucking...
Just a frequent flyer.
Just a frequent flyer, mate, aye.
Loves a holiday, mate. He's got a membership card with Jet too.
But this is the thing, right? See this, right? You look, it's just, oh mate, that's another thing that is just fucking surrounding Celtic. It's just been no end of negative news stories, and it's not been helped by the fact that fucking Jimmy Cranky has got on a wee coronavirus box and started fucking and she's come down hard on Celtic, probably harder on Celtic than any other club. Do you know what I mean? But
the Celtic have made, I would say Celtic, well, she came down hard in Aberdeen, mate.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say Celtic have made more missteps through COVID than any other SPFL team. Mate, they went to Dubai, bro, and they took a guy who was injured.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending. Don't say that. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. Like, in the club the club have fucking admitted that it's fucking wasn't a good thing to do. It wasn't the right thing to do. It's just one of those. You're just feeling like it was just at the moment. I think the thing is as well. It's just like Rangers you've got those four boys fucking.
Aye, the young guys, Nathan Patterson.
Fucking young guys. One of them fucking. Zungu, he's fucking. You're no telling me that he's no fucking. He's part of your first.
Begani Zungu.
Yeah. Aye, he's part of your first team squad, though, is he not?
Yeah, he is. Aye, he never gets a game much.
Aye, I know, but so is he just being bombed or something to the fucking reserves, or like? Because he just going like, well, hold on a minute.
But they did get dragged across the coals for that.
Right, but you fucking up. But what I'm saying is like. we had one individual, like the actions of one ball and golly fucking like started the ball rolling big time, like just fucking by no saying anything.
Ball and
And then,
rolling.
aye. But no saying anything, and then obviously just putting us at a place where we can't play games, and
Yeah.
then just giving you a cushion, and then that's it. We weren't able to recover from that. But at that point, then it was just this whole fucking media storm of fucking Nicola Sturgeon giving it, red card next time, yellow card next time will be a red. You're going, right, fucking hell, all right. I mean, and then it's, you guys did a dick. You're fucking. Well, the Aberdeen guys didn't do anything wrong. They just went into a pub. Like, they were just sat in this place having fucking all socially distanced and stuff. Aye, they're dicks, but yous are fucking worse. Yeah, I
But
mean,
does that affect the football, mate?
well, it did, because you look at the pressure. I think the pressure that was surrounding the season, it just seemed to be that everything that kind of followed Celtic this season has been negative,
Right.
and it's been the polar opposite on your side of the fence. You know what I mean? It's been largely positive from start to finish.
But mate, you got to remember as well, these things are cyclical because when Rangers,
Yeah.
see when Rangers went, when Rangers went into administration, right?
Yeah,
It was we were getting fucking
100%.
right,
100%.
and I do get the thing is with the press, mate, is see once they're like sharks, right? See once a wee spot of blood in the water, right? They're all in, right?
Yeah.
Before you know it, they're fucking doing all sorts of stuff that they're just digging and digging and digging, and I get that, and I think the big story this year, obviously, was because of what a potentially monumental season this is going to be for Celtic, and the fall from grace that they have had during the season. It's tabloid fodder, and then that coupled with the
100%.
fact with Neil Lennon potentially losing some of the dressing room, the infighting, and then there was the Dubai thing. Do you know what I mean? And I do understand where you come from, but there was a lot of press drama.
Yeah. Yeah,
I do get that.
I think that, like, I'm not here defending any of it, but I think that it's been sensationalised a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
But does that right? Okay, so the only thing I see as I think, especially now, but this last season, obviously it's in the press and in the papers and stuff like that, right? But the fans aren't in the stadiums,
yeah,
so they're not hearing it the same, right? I would think that
I would argue otherwise. I would argue that they're hearing it more, because you think now, right? So if you do it right, so obviously Celtic have done what Rangers have done, and that they've stopped the 10. Again, Celtic done it back in 1998. You compare that season to this season now, right? Right now, we have got access to communicate directly to every single player.
yeah, they don't have to read it though.
Yeah, but they do.
But they don't have to.
But the
Whereas
thing
if
is,
they're in the stands, they're getting it
if-
shouted in their ear.
once a week. Once a week they're getting it shouted. If you're sat in your house on your smartphone and it's just there's abuse coming, you say you don't have to read it, but everybody fucking reads it. You read it. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, like we're all gonna be like, no, you just ignore it. It doesn't happen that way. You know what I mean? If somebody's talking about you, or if you're trending, or a club's trending, or something, you're going to see what people are saying about it because you want to gauge what the public opinion's like. And
Right, okay.
for all, like, there may be some people fucking stand, or like, there may be some people trying to say positive things, but you can get 1,000 fucking positive responses, and you get one negative one. You're gonna hear that negative one over.
Yeah, it's the Amazon review thing, isn't it?
Right. But what's happened with Celtic this season is it's been fucking flipped. You're getting fucking 1,000 negatives and probably one or two fucking positive ones this year. It's just the way it's gone for us.
But see, I think there's all of these. Yeah, I do get the whole COVID scenario has not aided the situation, right? But there is something fundamentally wrong in that Celtic dressing room.
Oh no, mate. Yeah, they're like, I think that
When you look at, I was listening to Cy Ferry talking to Derek Ferguson and Frank McAvenny, and
Yes.
what Frank McAvenny said was true. See the players that don't want to be there, right?
It's cool.
But he also said as well, like, see that they're like they don't want to be there. But surely, if you don't want to be there, you go out there and you bust your ass because you're trying to get a move.
Well, yeah, you would think that, but I think as well. The thing is now is that I mean, there are ways that like they don't necessarily have to. Do you mean?
That okay. So that in itself is that's a bad thing for football.
Oh yeah, but you see it happening all the time. And like you look at it, right? Mesut Ozil's a perfect example.
Yeah.
He just down tool. Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's got a stinking attitude. You can see it. Just down tools. But yet, Mesut Ozil's playing for Fenerbahce and Gareth Bale's at Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Neither of them are in the dark. Like,
yeah, they're not.
They both get good moves out of the back of it. You know what I mean?
But it's also that's the calibre of player that they have been in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't say that Elianusi. No, what was the boy that went to
Olivier Ncham. He's just one of those guys. He wanted to go back to France.
France did they want him back?
Marseille did not want him, but yeah, he's just that's the thing. We've just had young lad Frimpong wanted away.
See, that surprised me.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that surprised me a little bit as well.
Because he seemed so buzzing.
Oh yeah, I mean that
famously buzzing.
Well, that interview.
Oh my days!
It's the best interview I think I've ever seen any footballer ever give.
He's actually just so buzzing.
I've never seen somebody so happy to be sent off in a final in my entire life.
He's just like, oh my days!
Yeah.
Mate, so buzzing.
Aye. See, the thing is, right, that tells you how good that interview is, the fact that it's making you smile.
Oh, mate, I remember you sent me it, and I thought, I love that guy. I love that guy, because he's just so... Because, right, I'll tell you one thing about the Rangers team. I, yesterday, took the day to myself and just watched Rangers TV from the fucking 9 o'clock in the morning.
On.
Oh, I did, mate. I got 9 o'clock in the morning.
The bowler hat out, let's go.
Mate, I was watching documentaries about Colin Hendry, right? That's how deep I went.
Come on, Tina. You're on repeat.
Oh, mate, listen. I was singing all the songs. I was having a lovely time myself. Just a wee Monday to myself, right?
Oh, just a wee staunch recharge. Why
not? And I was listening to all the interviews, right? So they basically, it was when the Rangers players were all celebrating in the dressing room, and they were getting pulled out one by one and being interviewed by Rangers TV. And there was, like, some of the players, like Jermaine Defoe spoke really well, but he's a seasoned pro.
Yeah, that's that. Because the thing is, he is going to look at it differently to the rest of them because the guy is about 45.
But mate,
right, actually, he's 39, is he? 38, 39?
Yeah, 38.
So that, I mean, he's like coming towards the end of his time, so he's kind of really savouring what he's fucking amongst.
Tav, he was a bit of mosh, was Tav. But he spoke to Ryan Kent, right? Now, Ryan Kent and Jeremy Frimpong, they have a very similar speech pattern.
Yeah.
It's sort of, innit, bruv, right?
Yeah, Roadman-esque.
Right. But Frimpong was so happy, right? He was just like, oh my days! Ryan Kent looked like somebody had kicked his dog, right? He's like, yeah, man, it was really good, and just that face.
Aye, but do you know what that is? That is somebody who is just they could be media trained to death.
No emotion.
I can't show any emotion. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just say, yeah, it's not about me, it's about the team and all that. And like,
keep the high balls low and
keep the high balls low, the low balls high. You know, I mean, just shit.
So we just going to get the head down and we're still big games ahead and that. Do you know what, mate? I love it. See when you see a Rangers, or you hear like Rangers or Celtic players and be like, aye, we've got it was good that we've won the Old Firm game, but you know it's back to the training ground, so we've got a big game against Ross County on Wednesday. And you're like, come on,
that's
mate.
a tough place to go. And to come and try and win. No, they're not. They're coming. They're fucking already fucking. I can hear the reversing sounds of the bus as they fucking park it on the 6-yard line. Don't give me that shite.
I know. We've got a really tough game in Dingwall at the weekend, and so we need. I mean, it's a difficult place to go to, and they set up really well. And that you're like, shut up, mate.
Yeah, no.
To that point, yeah. I love that part because it's just like they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you know? Did you see the video of Steven Gerrard doing a cleanser in the champagne?
Unfortunately, did I?
Mate, it was one of the best things, man. I love that. No, but right, okay. So let's take it right back. Personally, I remember talking to you about this at the beginning of the season, and I said to you, I think this year might be different, right? What I didn't expect was for Rangers to win it this early on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, if I'm right in saying, it's the earliest that the league's been won.
Is it? I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure it is. But I when I was looking at the stats and stuff, it was so it's things like, see if you actually look at goals scored and stuff. So I've got it written here, right? So Celtic scored 65 goals and conceded 23. Celtic would normally are never conceding 23 goals.
No, nowhere near.
So what's the Barkas? Is it him? Because see, to be honest, right, Neil Lennon did not become a bad manager in one season.
No. When I've said this, like I stand by this, right? Like the Celtic players have not become bad players overnight. Like there have been other things happening around that club that will probably come out in fucking podcasts. Probably Cy-Ferry will get them out in a podcast in about 10 years' time. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
But yeah, there's something going on. I think you're right. Not getting Fraser Forster was a massive blow. Massive blow. Letting Craig Gordon go.
Why did they let Craig Gordon go?
Well, because they offered him a new contract, but the new contract was for less than he was already on. So they offered him a pay cut, basically. Essentially saying, we don't really want you. You know, like, I mean, like, that's essentially it. So then you're left with we got Barkas, and we paid £4 million for him. And he's just been a disaster. I've never seen a goalkeeper that doesn't want to save a ball. Like, genuinely, I don't think I've actually ever seen him make a save. Like, it's strange. But he's been terrible.
Shane Duffy.
But this is the thing, right? When you look at on paper the players that Celtic have bought in, right? I mean, you can say it now, whilst like I remember being pretty happy after the transfer, but the business we've done in the transfer market. I mean, we've always done transfer business late in the market for fucking some inexplicable reason, and put ourselves under for like European qualifiers. But when you look at it on paper, bringing Elyounoussi back in, Elyounoussi is a good player. He is a good player. He just,
when he wants to.
Yeah, it's like it's just not consistent.
Same with Tom Rogic, exactly same.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly the same. So he's a good player, but just inconsistent. But Albion Ayeti from West Ham, again, you're like, okay, Premier League standard striker, all right, brilliant, brought him in. Shane Duffy, not one person said to me, not one person went, fucking hell, Shane Duffy, Jesus, he's a bit. Everybody, to a man, went, that's a great signing, that. Celtic man as well, that's a really good signing. That should show things up at the back. But it's just not worked for him at all. I don't think the passing of his father's helped.
No. And being away from his family.
been away from his family, been
Yep.
in a lockdown. It's the same with El Hamid as well. That's why he's gone back to Israel, just because it's not happened for him. Then Christopher Julian getting injured as well. So defensively, you're up against it, massively up against it, and you're having to rely on Near Beaton, who has had to kind of stand in every now and again.
He also sold the jerseys for against Scotland.
Yeah, he did that, and he fucking got himself sent off against you guys as well, just before at Christmas. Christopher Ayer's has been all right.
He's just not quick enough.
Yeah, it's just that's it. You're lacking pace at the back.
Do you know what else I think Celtic suffered with? No James Forrest.
Massive. No wingers. Like who we got to play wide.
But then, see, at the same time, mate, you look at what the Celtic. I mean, was it a couple of weeks ago when they had fucking Ryan Christie up top and three centre forwards on the bench?
It wasn't Sunday as well.
Why,
Sunday?
mate? Do you know that's what I've said this to you on a few occasions? See, the biggest fear for when Rangers play Celtic is Lee fucking Griffiths.
Yeah.
Lee Griffiths is a dangerous player. He might be getting on a wee bit, right, but he can pull a wee bit of magic out anytime. See, remember that against the last time Celtic played Rangers, that fucking diggy hit for the edge of the 18 and Alan McGregor had to fucking touch it past.
Yeah.
That is what Lee Griffiths can pull that out his arse at any time. Now, why the hell, especially, see any politics that were going on in the dressing room and stuff like that, right? Why the hell was he no playing?
Oh, mate. The thing is, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think he has been. There's been like serious doubts over his fitness. Obviously, he's had like mental health issues and stuff before.
But mate, you look at Rangers with Chris Boyd. He wasn't exactly running fucking marathons, right? But
two wildly different players.
But what I mean is though, right? Chris Boyd could put the ball in the net at any second, right? And the fact that he couldn't run the length of himself didn't seem to matter as long as he's putting the ball in the net. Lee Griffiths,
he's in the fucking 6-yard box.
I know, but what I'm saying is it's the exact same play. A player that can turn a game on its head, right? Then, so because they are capable of making game-changing actions, then you kind of look past the fact that maybe they're not 100% fit. Lee Griffiths is definitely that sort of player.
Yeah, but the thing is as well though, mate, we haven't played with two strikers up top. That's another thing. Like, we've gone 4-3-2-1. We've gone fucking 3-5-2. We've gone 4-3-3. We've played so many different fucking formations this year.
Yeah.
Like, no, like you fucking. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happened. But
do you think that Neil Lennon lost control of the decision-making process to a certain degree?
Well, in terms of what?
Like the formation, the team, whatever was happening in the dressing room?
No, I think they basically tried to keep players that didn't want to be there.
Right.
So I think guys like Incham, I think Frimpong would have probably gone in the summer if he was allowed. There'll be like Chris Ayer would have gone in the summer. I think he'll probably go this summer.
There'll be a mass clear out at Celtic.
Yeah, yeah. There has to be. I think there has to be because there's been too many people that have been there, and they're just like
passing the time.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think there's an element of that, and then there's players like the likes of Ayer, and and Chan, like Ayer especially, like he needs to go and push on up to the next level. Otherwise, he's just going to stagnate and he'll end up going and playing for fucking West Brom or something like that, mate. I mean, and just sit in a fucking championship somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was basically he tried to kind of patchwork, keep people in, and be like, "Could you stay for one more year? Stay for one more year," and try to kind of patchwork it in because they'd spent so much money getting players that ultimately didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I think he was kind of up against it, and then it didn't help with the likes of your man Paul and Goley, who's, by the way, he's got to come back to Celtic in the summer. He's only on loan. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's going to be a lovely welcome, innit?
yeah, like I mean, he can't come anywhere. He can't play for Celtic. There's no way. There's fucking no way he can play for Celtic again. Yeah, and it's just been from there, mate. It's just been one thing after another. But I think for me, it's the whole issue with Celtic started with the John McGinn saga.
Yeah.
That is, if you look back at it, that right there was the moment that things started to turn for Celtic. They're not getting John McGinn in, and there must have been there was a disagreement of sorts with between Brendan Rodgers and Peter Lawwell, Dermot Desmond, whoever, the board. Then obviously Brendan Rodgers then done what he done, left it fucking halfway through the season, in the wake of the treble. Neil Lennon fucking stumbled us over the line. And the thing is, if you look at it then, everybody will say, like, when we won the treble, everyone was buzzing. I mean, we were jumping at like fucking, it was wild celebrations. But then, like, straight after the Scottish Cup final, Neil Lennon was announced as a manager, and everybody was like, oh. It was just a little fucking, in the pit of your stomach just kind of went, oh fuck, really? Because we're obviously just come off the back of Brendan Rodgers. He's left us high and dry. We're thinking, fucking hell, we're going to get a fucking great manager off the back of this, which we should have done. I mean,
Do you think it was just a money thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, like Brendan Rodgers was the highest paid man. It couldn't have been, because Brendan Rodgers was the highest paid manager. It's probably they probably overspent. Yeah, actually.
Because what I was going to say is that what seems to be the thread all the way through all of this is that Celtic have not bitten the bullet and paid the dough at the right time on the right person, and what they've done is they've waited too long. I think they have tried to win 10 in a row without spending the right money.
Yeah, I think as well, like, you look at what happened.
And then when they've got desperate, they went, "All right, fuck, let's just buy this guy." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Try to fucking basically pull an off the shelf.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, an off the shelf solution. I think you're probably right, mate. I think, yeah. The thing is, you don't have to look too far to see an example of fucking how it didn't go well. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rangers done exactly that. Like, Rangers essentially, like, fucking financially doped their 9, and then it bit them in the hole. Like, they kind of stumbled along for a couple of years afterwards, but then it bit them in the arse. And Celtic at that point were spending massive money as well. I mean, you look at the fucking money that Celtic spent on Sutton, Thompson, Lennon, Hartson, like,
Di Canio.
They spent. Well, Di Canio was a wee bit before then, but like that, the Martin O'Neill era, they spent a gargantuan amount of money in Scottish football terms. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because at that point, even both Rangers and Celtic had fucking incredibly strong teams.
Strong teams, mate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it. I mean, in that little period, both teams made the European final.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I think, provided Celtic get the right person in and create the right ethos within the club, because I think that's what needs. There needs to be a change.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly what happened with Steven Gerrard at Rangers. I think there was a regime change. The way things were done were changed, and also, and off the back of that, because of Steven Gerrard's reputation in the game, the fans, we all bought into it, mate. Like, put it this way, 100%. See if any other manager had come in to the Rangers job, right, and their only experience had been the under 18s or under 19s at Liverpool or at any team, right, you'd have been like, What?
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
Stevie
100%.
Gerrard comes in, and we think, well, he's a top. I mean, don't be wrong, he's got credentials. Do you know what I mean? But as far as
Not
coaching,
managerial credentials,
no.
mate.
But what I mean is, though, you look at Steven Gerrard as a player. He's been through the system, and he's obviously captained Liverpool and stuff. But you're right on managerial credentials, non-existent.
Yeah.
And he gets
But,
a job like Rangers, right? If that had
yeah.
been anybody else, the Rangers fans would have been up in arms. However, it's Steven Gerrard. Everybody's like, yes, right?
Yeah.
But what Steven Gerrard, I think, has in his arsenal is that he is a leader, right? And he is a leader who has been, when he joined Rangers, I think he admitted himself that he's nowhere near the finished article, but at his back, he has a strong team. Like,
Yeah.
you look at Gary McAllister, do you know what I mean? Knows the game inside out. The whole structure, everything was changed, and it was there
Yeah.
to support him, and he I mean, I was watching a thing about it the other day there about how Steven Gerrard models the way that Rangers play on the way that Jurgen Klopp had Liverpool playing. And they were showing just the way that the players on, like, especially on the wings, the way that Liverpool play, and the way that that's been mirrored in the way Rangers play. Really interesting, mate. But the question I want to ask you, Chris.
Well, I think
two-
the main guy though is that Michael Beale, isn't it?
oh, mate, clever boy. He's a
but
clever boy.
he is to he is to Steven Gerrard what what was his name? I was going to sound, but he's assistant manager at Leicester. Brendan Rodgers has a guy who was at Celtic as well. Oh fuck, what's his name? Oh shit! I should really have fucking looked this guy's name up before.
Whilst you're looking for it, I want to ask you a
Yeah.
question.
Go on.
There's two questions before we finish up this evening that I want to pose to you. One, who in your mind is going to be the next Celtic manager, and who do you think should be the next Celtic manager?
It's a really difficult question to answer, mate, because
Who would you like to see come in that's available? Because obviously names are thrown about. Eddie Howe, Martinez, Martin, is that his name?
yeah, Roberto Martinez, he's not coming anywhere
No,
near us,
mate. Well, you get Belgium are the number one
He's
rated.
not a chance. He's the potential of winning the Euros and then going and winning the World Cup. He's not coming anywhere
he's not
near us.
But I think
Steve
Eddie.
Clark's not going to come anywhere near us either.
I think Eddie Howe may be a shout.
Maybe. But I mean, what's he got? I mean, he's got a, like, if you're a manager of Bournemouth, it's a 13,000 seater stadium, mate. There's nowhere near the amount of pressure of Celtic or
But
Rangers.
the difference is, mate, there is a financial gulf. That what he'll be getting at Bournemouth will be a lot more than he would be getting at Celtic.
Yeah, no, but money's irrelevant, mate.
No, but I mean, you think about what it's.
expectation.
Yeah, I know, but you see a manager that's used to that sort of expectation would have been at a club where there is a lot more money involved. So you have to take the hit.
What do you mean?
Well,
Yeah,
so
but-
say a team like Celtic where there's the expectation to win. If you don't
Yeah.
win, if even a draw is a loss, right?
Mhm.
Right. So, but teams like that are like Man U, Man City.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But to get a manager that is from that arena, like the Man U, Man City, someone who's used to that level of pressure, to come
Yeah.
to Scotland, right? That's a huge pay cut for a manager like that. So you're going to have, so the money that Celtic are going to be able to pay for a manager, and they're going to
Yeah.
have to come down a tier, and they're going to have to get an Eddie Howe or somebody who is maybe on the way up or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, for me, is I would much rather see a change and have a director of football and have a director of football in
Right.
and have a proper ethos set. Because I mean, the thing is you could kind of tell the sort of manager that Peter Law was going to bring in. The thing is now we've got Dominic McKay, who's going to be the new the new chief exec at Celtic. But I don't know how he works. I don't know what he's.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was a season ticket holder, but it's a real difficult one, mate. And I hope that it is somebody who he brings in. I would like him to bring in a director of football, because I think that's the way that clubs are going now. I think if you've got a decent director of football and then somebody with a good ethos, a kind of expansive football ethos. I don't want a team to come in and just be fucking one-dimensional. I want our team to be play free-flowing football and exciting football. Do you know what I mean? I think as long as a manager comes in and plays football the right way, that it's going to please the Celtic support, then I think success will come. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if Celtic's a happy place, like if you've got the support behind you, I mean, the support are always going to support them, but there will be, if you've got everyone pushing in the one direction, then players will want to come to the club. I mean, because it's a massive club regardless. I mean, you look at what it will do for players. I mean, like you look at even Rangers, you look at Ryan Kent, he'll go on somewhere else. He'll go on a bigger club. Morelos potentially, but it just depends on how. Like these are, like whether that's just the way Scottish football is at the moment. Is people don't come here; they come here to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're right. You're looking to get a shooting star.
Yeah, exactly. So that's essentially what we need to do. So it's trying to find another Odsonne Edouard, try to find another Moussa Dembele, another freaking Tavernier or whatever.
Yep.
So I don't know. I've gone a long way around about saying I don't know, but as long as they show the kind of the right passion and ethos towards the game, then I'll back them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Last question of the evening, Chris. Obviously, season's done and dusted, but Rangers are still in Europe.
Yes.
What's your prediction for the Slavia Prague games?
Don't know. I think Slavia Prague's a difficult side. Difficult side. I mean, they're doing well in their league. I think purely for a Scottish football, I would like to see them do well. I think it's a thing with like with other Scottish teams. Like, well, you'd like to see them do well, just not too well. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see I don't want another fucking Manchester. Well, Manchester actually worked out in our favour because you fucking shot yourself in the foot. I mean, you kind of shot yourselves in the foot this time round one of the league as well.
Oh, mate, listen.
George.
Oh,
I mean,
mate,
I have seen some absolute dafty. If I have a wee question for you, what are your thoughts on it? Because you have been famously fucking stay in the house, stay out your gaffs. COVID fucking stuff. What's your thoughts on the whole?
I think it was shocking, mate.
For me, like, it was the fact that the police escorted them.
Yeah.
To George Square.
Do you know what I think's weird? Like, right? Who is who's organising this? Right?
Yeah.
Who's went George Square? For anyone listening to this who's not from Glasgow, George Square is fucking nowhere near Ibrox, right?
No.
So, how did somebody be like that? Hey lads, to George Square.
I mean, you've got to look at it from our point of view when you're going. Like, I seen a wee picture, and there was that picture of the Celtic fans and like the Celtic Celtic players actually by the pool in Dubai, and then the other one of Rangers being herded down the street by police, like shoulder to shoulder. Like they were licking each other's earlobes in there, like you know what I mean?
Mate,
and it's just going like
it was a shocker. It's shocking.
Well, one of them's created a media storm, the other's just been we can understand why though.
Well, right, okay. So I will tell you something. I am not condoning this in any way, shape, or form. right?
Uh-huh.
However, on a human level, right? How long this has been for Rangers, right? Been at the big fucking taken all the way down at the top. It's been a long time coming, right? And I think it's just so. I think people got overexcited, and they have behaved in a fashion that is unsafe for everybody. I do agree with that. And like even when Rangers before the St Mirren game, when the Rangers players were getting into Ibrox and stuff like that, couldn't believe the scenes outside Ibrox. Ridiculous, mate. Ridiculous. There's just going to be a right spike in COVID and Govan. But and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, and I do think it lets the football team down. What I don't agree with is Nicola Sturgeon coming out and saying that Rangers Football Club should have done more to prevent it. These people are acting on their own thing. Like, what are Rangers feasibly like? See if Rangers went, right, guys, away home, right?
Well, it's exactly the same when the Celtic fans went out to fucking protest about it at the club. Yeah. It's exactly the same thing. Everyone's going, the club should have done more.
But what can they do? These people are acting on. So they're acting on. They've got their own minds. They're just doing what they want to do, right? It's just that I don't believe that someone. I don't. And I'm a big Rangers fan. I love the Rangers, right? But I do not think that winning a title means that you should put everybody at risk.
No, especially when we are almost within. We're kind of
we can see it on the horizon.
Yeah, we can
and
see it.
And these buds are out there, mate. And Joe, I think it's really strange, right? Where are they getting all the flares for?
I know, mate. I know. I genuinely, I seen a video of a bloke in George Square, like holding the end of a firework above his face, just looking up at it. He lit it and he looked up at it like that. I'm going, mate, you know what? The natural side, like
COVID didn't get you, mate, but stupidity's going to get you.
I know, man. Like, how are you a functioning person? You're probably not. I mean, if you're willing to hold a firework, light a firework, and then elevate it above your face, like less than a meter above his face, he's got a lit firework.
Yeah.
You deserve everything that's coming your way.
Yeah, I just, it's not for me, man. I do think, though, the police didn't handle it very well. However...
Oh, it's the brotherhood in effect, isn't it?
I know, but I do think...
It's a case of, right, use law, up the road. And you're all right, don't worry, it's fine.
No, but I do
think... I'm being serious now, come on. I don't want to see any more... Oh, yeah, that's quite funny, but... No, yeah.
Yeah, mate, right, I do it, but I think the police have got a hard job in that situation because they're outnumbered, right? And there is a huge crowd of people. So I think it's first they're trying to contain something rather than let it run riot.
This is what I don't get. It's like, so we'll contain it. Let's move them into George Square.
They're keeping it all together, aren't they?
Just, mate, it's fucking Pollock Park. Like...
I know. It was like...
go to the park. There's literally a park across the road. Don't understand.
Yeah, okay.
Like, take them to the park. There's wide open spaces.
Yeah.
Like...
That, I think the guy who did that, who went, just let's take him to George Square, he's getting the sack, isn't he?
No, probably not.
No, he
probably not.
He's going to get a doing.
But the thing is, you'll never hear who this person is. The person who's made
if anyone listening to this knows who that guy is, we want to know.
Who's making these decisions in police?
Who said?
Because that is just like, it's ridiculous. Like, literally, again, for those of you who don't know, you have Ibrox, and right next to the motorway, the other side of the motorway is a big green open space for people to go and do whatever they will in there. Like, just take them into the park.
Yeah. Come on, boys, we're going to the park now. Off the swings, William. Billy, off the shoot. Willie. Anyway, mate, listen. I think we've conducted ourselves in a very professional capacity this evening. This could have become a conversation of, what are you talking about? No, you're talking shite. No, you're talking shite. Right, we've done very well, mate. So I think we just call it an evening there.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening, folks. I hope that our inane drivel about Scottish football has entertained you, and we will speak to you very, very soon. So please hit those like and subscribe buttons.